Hey gang, welcome back to Inverted Pursuits Laboratory. Today we're going to take a look at how to assemble the Macey kit. You can find the Macey kit for sale, a link in the description down below. Now if you're interested in buying this kit, it's pretty simple, it's about $25. But we're going to take a look at the kit as you'll receive it from me and how to go about assembling it. So when you initially get the kit, it comes in a pretty nice little Ziploc bag. Instructions are included in there as well as all the parts you need. The only additional parts you'll need is some CA glue. So you open the bag, and when you pull out all of the parts, which I will readjust the angle here so we can see all the parts. So we've got all the parts and we've got our very nice instructions. The instructions are about 3 pages worth of documentation. First page is just parts and recommended additionally required things such as superglue. It also gives a list of anticipated altitudes based on motors that I've flown it on and like flying it on. Then the following 2 pages are the beginning of your assembly instructions, and the top here is the statement about this YouTube video existing. And then it finishes with a quick little thanks for flying with us and enjoy flying. So in the kit you will receive your fin can / body. That is one 3D printed piece. It even has an integrated launch lug, and motor retention is just done by a snug fit. Then there is the nose cone. Now one thing to note is that the nose cone has an integrated shock cord mount, as does the body tube. You can see down in there's a little mount down in here, is where you tie your shock cord around. Additionally included in the kit is a piece of BT20 tubing from Estes. It's about 1.75 inches long, a streamer, and your shock cord. To begin assembly, the first thing you want to do is check the fit of all pieces. So take your nose cone, your body tube, slide them together, see how they fit, see if you like the forces, which that's maybe a little tight, so it'd be a good idea to take some sandpaper to the outside of this and loosen it up just ever so slightly. If not, another thing you can do is just rub them together a little bit and things will start to loosen up. But the tightness that's on there is plenty to keep it together in flight, but still allow it to come apart very easily upon ejection. Next thing you want to check for fit is the body tube. So the motor tube, sorry. The motor tube slides in the back and should sit roughly flush with the back of the motor. And since it slides in there just fine and butts up against, that's perfectly as we want it. So then the next step, since those are the items that we need to check fit on, is that we actually need to glue this body tube in. So we'll take the body tube, I put it about halfway in, and then I run CA glue around this distance here. Preferably the slow drying stuff. Quick drying you can do, but you've got to be really fast on it. Just get that in there before the glue dries and before you glue your fingers to the project. But the slow drying stuff, yeah, it may take about an hour to dry, but put it around there, you get to push it in, and then you can keep working on this while that's setting. You can put a little piece of tape on the bottom that comes on your shock cords to help hold that there, or just be careful and keep going. So the next step moving forward is to open up your shock cord. The shock cord is inside a piece of blue tape. It is labeled M-36 for Macey, and it's 36 inches long. So it gives you some quick data on how long your shock cord is, and it's roughly 3 times the length of the rocket. The rocket's actually 13 inches long, so it's not quite 3 times the length, but it made for a really nice round number when I was doing it. So we stretch out the shock cord, and now what we're going to do is fish the shock cord through the body tube. In the instructions, it shows a little orange cutaway of the rocket, and then the red shock cord running down, looping back up, and then tying around the body tube, or around the shock cord. And then when you pull on it, the knot will slide inside and it will be tied on. So you get to fish this down through one side of, there's 2 slots you'll be able to see. You should have been able to see earlier. And your goal is just to fish it through there, and it's not wanting to go at the moment. But your goal is simply to fish it through half of the rocket. It will come out the bottom, and then you will flip it over and fish it back through the other side. Be sure to not fish it back through the same side you just came through, otherwise you're not tying around the mount inside the body tube. And then we get both ends coming out, and when I pull on it, it doesn't come out of the rocket. Then it's simple enough to tie a knot around. The knot I tend to tie is called 2/2 hitches. It is done by taking over the top, around on the inside of the loop, and then you go make this little almost curlicue and just loop back inside here. If I can get that there. And then I always try to leave as little wasted shot cord as possible. And I tie my little knot. The only goal with your knot, whatever you choose to tie, is that the knot needs to be able to slide on the main shot cord line so that you can pull the knot down inside the body tube. And now the knot's all the way down in there, and we're tied around the interior body tube. Now this also will allow you, if you can get a hold of it with a pair of pliers, to pull this back out. So, moving on. The next step in our process is to go ahead and take the other end of the shot cord and tie it to the nose cone. This is as simple as putting a little bend in your shot cord and just looping it around on through. And then on this one, you don't need to tie any slip knots or anything. You just need to simply tie a knot that you believe will hold it. And the last thing you want to do is shoot your shot cord off. So from there, you've got almost everything done and you're almost ready to fly. The next thing is to go ahead and open up your streamer. When you open the streamer, you have 18 inches of orange streamer that comes in your rocket. And that is simply tied around the shot cord. I try to tie it as close to the top as I can, and it simply loops around and ties on. I recommend tying at least 2 knots in this to make sure it stays on there, but that will hold it on just fine. If you have a longer shot cord or streamer you want to put on there, you're more than welcome to put it on there, but that's all that's required to get the rocket ready for flight. And then you simply take the streamer and roll it up, which can be quite the tedious task, so I'm going to do it a little hastily here. But the cleaner the roll, the better it will come undone when you're in flight. From there, my recommendation is to take a little bit of wadding. You don't need a very large amount, just a little bit. Put it down inside the body tube and then fish your shot cord down on top of it. I'm not overly organized with my shot cord placement. There are several methods you can use to organize shot cord inside a body tube. I've always tended, just especially for testing purposes, to use the 5-year-old kid shoving it as fast as he can into the body tube method because that tests some worst case scenarios. So that's what I'm doing here just to show it off. And now the rocket is assembled. Now you still have to wait for your glue to dry because technically your glue is not dry at this point. But as soon as you've waited that hour for your glue to dry, all you have to do is take a motor and test fit it in the back. So this is my D16. This is the largest motor I have said that the Macey is capable of flying on. It'll take it to about 1,600 feet if you go straight up. I guess you'll probably hit about 1,000 with most arcs. And then that, simply you want to test fit it in the back. On the D16, because I didn't glue it in this one, it does not have, or well, I guess it doesn't really matter because this has forward retention for an Estes motor. But you can see how it sits up there flush and exactly where it's going to sit and how I put tape on this when I was using it in one that didn't have rear retention. But it sits in there and you want to make sure it's a snug fit, a good and snug fit. If it seems like it comes out too easily, wrap a little piece of tape along the side of it and shove it back in until it's got a nice snug fit. You don't want it to be too tight that you can't get it back out, but you also don't want it to be too loose. I think personally that the D16 fits pretty perfectly as it is. If anything, it needs like the slightest piece of tape on there. Most Estes motors also are going to fit fairly snugly and will need just the slightest amount of tape to hold them on. But that's all you've got left to do. Now, all you need to do is go get your launch rod, your controller, put this thing on the pad, count to 5, and let her go. So, thanks for watching the assembly guide for the Macey Rocket by Inverted Pursuits Laboratory. Happy flying.